Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's go ahead and jam for a little bit, shall we? Welcome on in, everybody, to the Edit Shift. We're going to talk about some co-working things for proofreaders, editors, and beta readers, and it's good to see all of you. Welcome on in. I did have a couple of people ask me how I use track changes in Microsoft Word and Google Docs. Kind of can apply because they both have similar functions. They just look a little different, basically. So what are some things that you can end up throwing into the track changes in the comments as any one of these services? Yes, let me go ahead and open the door. Apparently Loki wants out. Little girl, in or out? Deus Ex Catina once more. So with track changes, and we'll just go ahead and kind of get into it here. I have a chapter I'm working on for book 6. Ooh, shocker, something different, something new. So with this, going through the track changes, first of all, in Word, they usually stored under the review tab here at the top on the ribbon. And then about in the middle of the ribbon, you'll see where markup and tracking are. Okay. You got to turn on track changes first. So I believe in Docs, it's under their tools, unless they moved it on me. But you got to turn it on first and foremost. Here in Word, you also have the option to go ahead and pick how you want it to show up on screen. I'll show you why I prefer to edit with simple markup in play here in a moment, but this is normally what my clients will see. So let's say I'm editing in real time. Go on an example with me. So looking for an F-Terry upon sailing down the driveway into the campus's backside, that comma is correct. Adira hopped to find her work wife, and I'm still wondering if this is one word. And this is the other reason I, as an editor, get really used to being in the review tab. It's because I can easily go in and grab comments. So comments have multiple functions for you depending on what's been asked of you to do. Now, unless you're being asked to edit as a beta reader, I, as a author, prefer my beta readers not to look at editing stuff unless I ask them to. I care way more about content because I kind of have a good grammar brain and I pay an editor for that. Applies. Okay. So if there are things you do not want your beta readers to do in their commentary or in their reading process, or the same goes for your editor, ask them, I don't like this kind of commentary versus I do. Can be a helpful guideline to kind of help guide us on what feedback you do want. But as far as the track changes would go, say if this was a single word or if I wanted to hyphenate it, not only will it track the backspace I'll put in there, but it'll also track the hyphen. Sometimes some things in track changes when you are in all markup mode looks kind of similar. It looks like there's 2 dashes there, right? Right. This is why I prefer simple markup because I won't see any deletions. Now, I can't remember if GDocs does this as part of their suite, and it's honestly one of the reasons why I prefer editing in Microsoft is I can make it only show me what should be there, not the suggested deletions. Yes, I can toggle back and forth between these if I so do please as well. Okay. Now we're going to go through and I'll edit with you with all markup showing, but normally for me, I prefer to edit with no markup showing. So Adira hoped to find her work wife was still shut in her office. So this she here isn't right because her here replies to Neftiri being the work wife. Okay? Even though this her here refers to Adira. So believe it or not, it would be grammatically correct to put Adira there again, even though her name's already been reestablished once, because otherwise we're going to start confusing our subject pronoun agreement. And some of you are like, wait, what? That's a grammar rule. Google or YouTube subject pronoun agreement if you didn't quite follow me there. Essentially, who does this her refer to, since we have two females at play, becomes the question. It's Neftiri, not Adira. So I can't say she here if this refers to Neftiri's office, because it's not Neftiri who's ripping up the stairs, it's Adira ripping up the stairs. Yes, that will trip some readers up. They'll say, who did what? So that's why it's kind of important for hello editors, really pay close attention to not only does the pronoun of preference for the character stay in play, but also do your grammatical rules of pronouns usage also stay at play. They're key, especially if you're my friends who are writing MM or FF or any combination there in romances, and you have two gentlemen in a scene or two ladies in a scene. We need to know who the pronouns go to, if they're the same pronouns. So Adira ripped up the staircase and down the hall to find the lights on, the door locked, and Neftiri's out of office sign twisted. And I'm going to lowercase these. I keep going back and forth, and I need to double check with my personal editor stylistically, which would look better. The sign in my head as a writer has the two O's capitalized, but I don't think they need to be. If the sign is, question mark, especially on the other side. So the question becomes, which one do we keep? Because it was parallel, now it's not. So if I change the O's to lowercase here, I have to keep it parallel. Yes, I know. What is math doing in editing? It belongs here. I got to make those match too. So I wanted to tell her about those tomes. Is that a way for a professor of your stature and standing? That's repetition of your stature, because then it's punning on her actual physical height just as much as her career. Got it, Jenna. To talk with students in the halls. Hello, you went out now? No, Mom, I don't want out the first time you tried to let me out before you got into the middle of a demonstration. She's my office assistant. Gotta love her, right? I pay her well in treats. Anyway, so is that a way for a professor of your stature and standing to talk with students in the halls? Yeah, halls make sense because she's on the third floor. Elias Sinclair, and I need to continuity check all these siblings for Ptolemy Sinclair as last name. Because I think for his sisters, I introduced them as Ptolemy Sinclair, but I gotta make that fit. So Elias Sinclair waltzed down the hall, much like he had the first time Adira met him face to face. Okay, welcome to one of my favorite hacks. Face to face should be hyphenated. And I know I have a habit of not typing the hyphens consistently. So what am I going to do? Control C as in copy, or hello, my Apple friends, Command C on your keyboard. And then I'm going to go into Control F for the find function. So far, that's the only one that it's finding. Essentially, what I would have done is if I have a bunch of them, instead, say this result said, instead of 1, it said like 82. You can then go into Control, is it G? No, Control G will do go to, and you can pick a specific number, but if you do Control H, that's your find and replace function, if you didn't know the keyboard command for it. So Control F is this first tab. Control H is the find and replace. Control G, the go-to tab, if you were wondering if there were keyboard commands for those in MS Word. I assume that command is the alt there if you're in the Apple version of Word. Though if you're in the Apple version of Word, why aren't you using Note? Question mark. I don't speak Note. I'm sorry. So I am not a K-12, that should be hyphenated, teacher. They are a special breed, she replied, and I bet they find ways to curse like sailors whenever they need. I don't have that kind of boring privacy to protect. Also, there's something to be said about the power of a well-timed curse bomb. Yes, oh, okay. Now, notice how we're talking about cursing, but I still use two different words. Synonyms are your friend. Dear editors, especially. Synonyms are your writer's friends if they have brain defaults. Okay, so Ma would agree with you if she is not in yet or yet in. For him, it matters. Adira doesn't know this yet. She's not talking to a human. She's talking to a vampire. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute. He's 300 plus years old. He probably would say not yet in. Give him that sophistication of language, similar to what she comments his mother has. His mom is a doctor of linguistics because she's old. Anyway, I had hopes to take her to dinner with Pa being out of town for the night, Elias said, leaning against the wall with his shoulder and pulling his jacket's zipper loose. Because I don't want him to take it all the way down. That R matters. It's like halfway. The windbreaker material did nothing to flatter his figure, not like the polo shirt he wore under the jacket. You might want to guess again, Flyboy. Adira, when was the last time I said? I am said was right there. I am an underuser of said. I like to use my verbs. So I've been given a task to throw more uses of said in my writing. We have work wife. And see, I got, this is an instance where if I change work wife up here and whatever I agree to keep on it, I'm going to have to use that Control H find and replace for the easy fix. And then you just look for spacing as you're doing an edit through later. Work wife. Things to handle. I've overused already. I've ordered her favorite salmon dish from the Asian Neftiri doesn't like salmon. Why do I keep feeding her salmon? I keep forgetting there's a note in the book 5 epilogue. Because book 6 is, and this is a good hint for some of you editors, beta readers, proofreaders, and more. Even if it's numbered 6 in a series, double check with your writer friend if this is still like 6, but new readers could pick up with 6 and it makes sense. That's what I'm trying to do with my book 6. That's why 2 seasons, to kind of give them a mid-series re-entry point that's super easy and a little bit less daunting than having to go back and read 5 books, right? So your continuity check among chapters versus among books matters. Elias smirked. No, he did not. We're taking that out of there. I'm not allowed to use smirked anymore. Want to know why? Control F. Because I've already used it 41 times and I'm halfway done this book. That's why. It is a brain default. You really are her work wife. Did you bring her favorite tea bags? I'm the reason why they stay stocked. I text Ian when she's out. Thank you for looking after her when neither of us are around to do so. She can be rather stubborn. And it's probably better to just kind of let them hot potato. It's just two of them in the conversation. Sometimes I tell clients, get the narrator out of the way. Just let them hot potato. That's normal conversation sometimes. Think about it. How often do you do a hand gesture? Some of us do. But how often, depending on who you're talking to, are you really gesticulating, as the former term is actually called? Not as much as you give yourself credit for in that regard, okay? Thank you for looking after her when neither of us are around. She can be rather stubborn. You and your father do so as well. Do so. Do. I keep wanting to add a so that's not there. And that's my muscle memory saying something's wrong with this phrasing. You and your, let's make it pa, because Ian is pa. Do as well. See, I changed it to pa. Now I don't want the so there. Question mark? Do as well she lets you, to be fair. I don't think the so is needed. Adira replied, her wit squaring off against his. She enjoyed... okay. That's a sentence that can come out. Not only did he have his mother's behind, he also had his father's loving charm. Yeah, so that way I'm not reusing father then too. If she talks saying the honorific pa, not father, then I can get away with using father without repeating. Hey, synonyms. So the feel of his hand against her cheek, if he were to reach over and lift her chin to kiss her, would have been marvelous. What am I thinking? Adira, chill. He's your best friend's and closest work colleague's son. Not to mention, that should be a comma. You do not know how she can, that's an extra S, look so good. And I'm missing a comma. And he can be my age, but he can be my age or older. So for those of you who know Schoolhouse Rocks, conjunction, junction, what's your function? If you have a subject and a verb, before and after, the fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so, you got to have a comma. Without the comma, you have a run-on sentence. If you have the comma without one of the conjunctions, you have a comma splice. Yes, knowing one grammar rule fixes two typical problems that most writers have. And as you can see why. That is one tiny keystroke. If I'm just blah, 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 in my draft, I'm probably not going to care so much about my commas. And that's okay. That's future editor type people's problems. Yes? Yes. That is true. She is an independent female full of merit and honor. I am proud and humbled to be her child. If he speaks like that about his mother, imagine what he could... No, Adira, stop it. She ran a hand over her neck and sighed as she sat with her back against Neftiri's closed office door. The draft under it did little to chill her insides from swirling. I noticed. So they go on to have a further conversation. Oh, and for those of you who think firsthand, like me, is 2 words, apparently it's 1. First hand is 1 word. Second hand and after, for whatever reason, is either 2 words or hyphenated. I forget why. It just is. So as you can see, if I were to take and do the simple markup, I now have a bunch of red lines off to the left margin in Microsoft Word telling me, hey, there's changes in this line. They're just hidden with the simple markup, okay? Now, what are other things that we said comments could be used for? There's no positive commentary in here. I'm leaving notes for me for my editor, for my critique partners. I don't necessarily need to give myself positive commentary, though that is a habit that can be helpful for some people. How do you leave yourself positive commentary? Well, I did this as a challenge, and I challenged some of you who are writing, who are in the editing and revising, there you go, stages of writing, to go ahead and open up the document that you're revising, go to a random page, decide how you pick the random page, by scrolling or by drawing a random number and going to it. I don't care. That's up to you. But when you get there, open up a comment and give yourself a little bit of a love note and leave it there with a date and time on it from past you to future you. I haven't been doing that so much anymore since the last project I tried that challenge on a while back. But what I also did was I went ahead and I sprinkled them throughout my planner for the rest of the year. Just little tiny, hey, queen, you know you got this, love past you kind of notes. Those can be helpful, okay? Those can be helpful for some of us keeping on track and making sure that we're staying focused. So I do see that we have a couple votes going on, and I see a trend. We're going to get ready to do some sprints. If you want to go ahead and join us in. See you in 30 minutes for the first one, y'all. Okay, save work. Save your work, yo, save your work. So I have, give or take, about half of my words down for my word count goal for the day. How is everybody? Beforehand, I did share some links, including the Authortube playlist and the BookTube playlist. Do check them out. We are doing 3 more sprints at 30 minutes each, y'all. How's is? Lacey, hello. Finished an hour sprint while you were at the kids' gymnastics. Going to keep going till dinner. Glad to have you here. Eva! Finished dinner and read for a bit. Going to write for the next one. Hope. Second chance. Oh. Evens is one, odds is the other. 6. So if evens is the first one, 6. Second chance romance. So go ahead and again make sure you are saving your work, everybody. A couple of quick announcements. I know that if we go to the heart breathing schedule later this evening at I think 8 p.m. Eastern is Jody Jean. Yes. And then of course checking the Authortube schedule for the day. We also have, I know Rach had canceled. Right now is noted there, but no link starting at the same time as us. PJ and Scribbles with TL Russell is going on at 7. And then, of course, Jody Jean at 8. Tomorrow for Heart Breathings, Kay is going to be 9. And then, of course, Angela's normally noon. And then I, tomorrow night, will be starting at 9 p.m. I'm going to a little bit of a local witchy woo-woo circle because happy full moon, everybody. You're very welcome. Michelle, hello. You can stay till 7. So we've got you for about an hour. That would definitely get you at least 2 sprints in, roughly so. With that being said, since I was so chatty earlier, let's go ahead and pause. Get ourselves into a second sprint there, everyone. See you all in about 30 minutes. Welcome in. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a little distracted while taking care of some items there for different odd end things. So, still haven't gotten too many words. I had to go back and reread some stuff and then got distracted by other tasks. We'll word it that way. How'd it all go for you? So let's see. Heather, hello, popping in to like the stream. Heather's one of my fellow admins for the Heart Breathings community, and totally glad to see you here. Check her channel. She's been doing necro news updates. All right, glad to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy dinner, friendo. Take care of you. Eva 608, not bad. Lacey 234. See, distractions are okay, and thank you for going through the hair detangling with the kiddo. As someone who has the easily tangled hair and had a mom who did not like brushing it because of the tangles, thank you. Gonna pop out and get your kitchen reset and a shower. Take care, my friendo. See you later. It's good to see you. Michelle 371 finished a chapter and Act 1. Congratulations. Getting ready to go into Act 2. Stacy, got your minimum words today, and now everything's going to be all just gravy, but you have a lot of errands you need to do before you can write again. Break well deserved, my friendos. Break well deserved. Yes, ma'am? Jump up there, then. Go ahead. She's like, wait a minute. You're letting me jump up there, Mama? Come on. They can hear you. You want to crash? Can you jump up here? Oh, baby. Hi. Hold on a second. Hold on, girlie. There you go. Since you want to be front and center all the time. Hi, little girl. What? What? Yeah? Is that the case? Are you happy now? Do you have anything else to say? Are you going to interrupt me any? You can see what one of the interruptions was a little bit for me during that last one. Get over there, Loki. Yes, you can be up there. For those of you who have been tracking, yes, I've kind of given up. When we first moved in here, it was a bet of how long it was going to take before she won that as one of her spots. 3 months, 4 months in. We're now 6 to 7 months in, but I've slowly been giving up for the last, say, quarter. Yes, she agrees. Okay. Yes! She's so vocal tonight. Looks like you see, kind of like how ginger kitties share a collective brain cell among ginger-colored tabby cats. I wonder if, like, all black cats randomly want to try and be in a choir. Yes? Why are you sniffing my nail polish that is closed? She thinks she owns everything, doesn't she? That she does. All right, y'all. We do have just about a minute, and since she has rightfully taken over the stream, we're going to get ready to go ahead and... Hey, timer. Hello. Okay, wanted to work on that one, but not that one. Oh, well, we'll use this screen. See, they are, in my opinion... There's too many of them in shelters anyway, so anyone who wants to get a black kitty, I appreciate you. So says the woman who has... Yes. Now, I used to have Moo, and she was like half because tuxedo, so... All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our third sprint for the evening, y'all. And that's going to be a self-care, soul care if you need it. I know I do. I need some food. Take care of you. See you here on the other side of 30 minutes. All right, everybody, go ahead and once more save your work. We have a quick break, and then we have one more 30-minute sprint ahead of us. Michelle, yes. Black cats tend to be one of the most under-adopted. So for all those who do, I am very thankful that you agree with on getting them. And I kind of explained who's who as far as the kitties here in this home. Hey, yo, it's Andy. Hello. Thank you for stopping on by. It's good to see you. Hope all is well. And of course, Michelle, you're very welcome. Thank you for stopping on by. Good to see you as well there, my friendo. Glad you got your goal for the day. Congratulations indeed. So, I do apologize for the clearing of the throat there with the coughing and the sneezing and the more. So, we had a poll going on for parts of the stream there, and it looks like most people for how often do you leave work for future you in all senses of the phrase, more than I can count. Got 55% of the draw there. Layton, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing really well. Welcome in. What's doing, friendo? We do have one more 30-minute sprint ahead of us. I'm going to go ahead and drop a couple of, links. I apologize. I apparently had closed that tab. So if you want to hang with Jody Jean or check out the rest of the Heart Breathings calendar, I did go ahead and share it in chat. If you want to also check and see who else could be sprinting on the Authortube end or the BookTube end for sprints after our next and last one for the evening, please feel welcome to do so. I do know that Jody Jean, starting at 8, gives us time to kind of wrap up and get you a little bit of a break there, my friends. And again, I was very chatty at the beginning of stream with some demos going on there. If you want to go back and check in with it, you can feel welcome to do so. I think what we'll get ready to do is kind of a wrap-up sprint. Sarah's full moon chat was tonight. Yes, indeed, it was. Enjoy. Did it go well for all of you? I was just thinking, why don't we draw a tarot card ourselves, since I didn't draw one at the top, as I sometimes do. Do I have all of them? Don't want to miss that one. All right. So, since it is full moon, let me go ahead and tarot card for us. Ooh, hey, I like that card. It's my life card, my life path card. If you add up your birthday for the actual digits, so like January 1st, 1940, 1 would be 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 0. Add that up. Whatever number you get, match it up to the major arcana. If it's above 21, 22, something like that, depending on which deck you're using and whether or not it's standard major arcana or not, determines what your life path card is. If it's over the number of major arcana cards in that deck, add those digits. So say, for example, your birthday adds up to 31, reduce it. 3 plus 1 equals 4. And that's kind of how you end up with the Emperor, even though your birthday doesn't add up to 4. So fatherhood or paternity or authority, structured life, dominating male figure could be important. I am writing a chapter with a male character POV. Practicality, experience, powerful, discipline, focus. Usually for females who have this as a life path, it normally means you have a lot of masculine energy in a lot of places in your life. I'm the youngest of 5. I have no sisters. I only have brothers. You see how this makes sense. And some of you are like, wait a minute, 4 kings and an emperor. My mother had 4 kings and an emperor. Whether she realizes it or not, as her children. So definitely good on her part. But I challenge you, do some journaling. Add up your birthday, see what life path card would match up with that math, and maybe you figure out something a little bit new about yourself. For me, it was a hint that I need to learn to be more girly. So, all right, 30 minutes. See you soon. I want to apologize for that. I'm not sure how much time we had left, but I did get kicked out. So I'm going to take that as a hint that it is time to go ahead and wrap it up and wind it down and save your work for the day, everybody. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me live. Or hey, replay, how are you? Leave us a heart there too. See you all tomorrow night at 9 p.m.